From Coldwater Community Schools, you're watching TV 21. Program funding has been provided by Century Bank and Trust, First of America, Mercom Cable Systems, and Southern Michigan Bank and Trust.
Proudly presents the Coldwater High School Cardinal Marching Band. With Flag Captain Nicole Anderson and Flag Lieutenant Becky Shaw. And our drum majors for 1998 are senior Lisa Kantowski and junior Cody Rocky. Please join the Cardinal Marching Band as we salute the Cardinals with the Coldwater High School loyalty. We would now like to welcome our guests from Hillsdale. Cardinal Marching Band in the performance of our national anthem. Students and other children to join them at the end of the football field before the foul for the Coldwater Cardinals.
Ready for the opening kickoff for tonight's game. Hillsdale against Coldwater, and here's the kickoff. Hillsdale kicking off to Coldwater, a low squibber. Cardinals need to cover it up quickly. It's down on the ground, and the Cardinals are lucky that they got this ball, as one of the upmen, a little slow getting up there for Coldwater, finally covering was Rusty Reed at about the 35-yard line. And Doug, it seems like we see that more than half the time, and you got to check with the coaching staff, but I'd guess it's because they don't have anybody that can kick it deep off the tee. But we sure see a lot of squibbers versus high-end overhand kicks. They just don't want to take any chance on anybody running it back deep. But the Cardinals now come out in their full house backfield. We're ready to get the first offensive series underway. As soon as we get the officials to back off, they just blow the whistle here for a moment.
We got a little guy running a tee out there. He got a little slow start. They got the tee off, and we're ready to bang him.
1st and 10 for the Cardinals, starting out on their own 34-yard line. First offensive play of the game. Rusty Reed tries to find a little room on the right side of the line, punches over the top of the pile as he gets out across the 35, out to about the 37-yard line for Coldwater. We'll make it 2nd and 7.
Wheels Coldwater last week ran the ball over 260 yards, or right around 260 yards. Hillsdale ran well over 300 yards, so I don't think we're going to see the ball up very much. This is going to be in the trenches. This is going to be a running ball game, I would assume, from those stats.
Torres in the wing slot now here to the near side of the field on the 2nd and 7 for the Cardinals. Handoff goes up the middle with some room cutting back, and a nice tackle for Hillsdale as Rusty Reed got out to the 39. He would have had some room here to the near sideline, but he's brought down on a nice shoestring tackle by the Hornets. So that'll set up 3rd and about 5 for the Cardinals here in the opening minute of tonight's game. Cardinals moving from right to left on your radio dial, and it's quarterback Brian Parshall going over to get the signal each time right now. That's the way the setup is for the Cardinals, to get the signal call from Coach Jamie Spray. So I guess an early big 3rd down play. Cardinals want to keep this drive alive. 3rd and 5, the ball on their own 39-yard line. Cardinals in that full house backfield now. Hillsdale up close on the defense. Couple of fakes. Brian rolls out to the far side to pass. Has a man open, and it's Shook for the first down out near midfield. So nice pass route run by Matt Shook, the tight end, on the right side, and nice rollout action by Brian Parshall for the Cardinals to pick up the initial first down of the game just short of midfield for Coldwater.
As always, Coldwater's backs always kind of fake the ball real well, like they've got it, and that allowed him to roll, and Shook came from the weak side all the way across, and he was wide open going behind the linebackers.
Parshall hands off to Reed, tries that right side again, and twice now Rusty going to the right side, finding some stingy room there on that side of the line. Hillsdale playing some good defense. 2nd and 8 for the Cardinals.
I imagine Greenlee's going to be all over the field tonight. He's already made a couple of 3 tackles, and he and Reed are going to be meeting each other head-to-head here.
Justin Bates, the defensive captain, 5'7", 170-pound junior for the Hornets. You've got Torres in the middle at the fullback spot. On the right side, on the far side, is Todd Porter. Near side here is Rusty Reed on the offense for the Cardinals. Marshall up to the line of scrimmage. Couple of fakes. Then he hands off to the near side here. And it's Reed once again with the carry. No, excuse me, Todd Porter with the carry for the Cardinals. Gets across midfield, so now the Cardinals are in Hillsdale territory. They're down to about the Hornet 48-yard line. Lots of time to come out tonight if you got the radio over at Kids Kingdom, and come on over here and you can sit down and take a little rest, catch your breath, and catch some good football action. It's going to be Torres here on the wing here to the near side for the Cardinals. Third, a little bit longer this time to pick up the third down. 3rd and 8 for Coldwater. Marshall fakes into the line, rolls out here to the near side. Fakes me out. A running play up the middle goes to Rusty Reed, but it's going to be short of the first down as he's inside the 45, down to about the 43-yard line. And we do have an injury timeout. Number 66 down, but he's now quickly up for the Hornets, and that's Kent Shannon. And he's going to hobble off a little bit. Cardinals now face 4th and 3, 4-down territory, looks like here, Doug.
Yeah, and that's set. You know, they did that last week. They put Torres out there, and had a little different this time. They had Reed or they had Jarvis, and last week they would bring Reed out here to the wing, and they'd have Torres, and Torres scored on that 9-yard little trap up the middle. That was basically the same kind of play right there.
No score here in the early going. 8:44 left here in the first quarter. Big play for the Cardinals. 4th down, 4th and 3. They're on the Hillsdale 43-yard line. Marshall up to the line of scrimmage. Long count. Handoff Reed right side where he tries, and there's nothing there. And the Hillsdale players on the sidelines and the defense, they're pumped.
12.
Well, I guess you just
Grant Connett, 5'11", 150, sat right there, a little sophomore, and then put him right to the turf.
He connected. What I was going to say, Doug, you just keep going back to the well maybe and try and find water, but it's dry for the Cardinals on that right side so far tonight. Hillsdale putting the stop on that play, so it's going to be the Hornets taking over the Cardinals with that one first down on the pass play to Shook. But after that, the Hornet defense shuts them down, especially on that 4th down. Now for the Hornets, they come out with their first offensive series. No score. 8.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Mullally is the quarterback, and he slips down on the handoff. And looks, Cardinals do recover. I thought that.
No, he's calling it down.
Calling it down.
I don't think so, though, because he was falling backwards. I mean, we had a replay. We'd like to take a look at that in the booth, but he was falling backwards and lost control of the ball. And we were right there. McKeon dropped right on the ball immediately, but they said he was down.
Well, that's the case. I didn't see whether he tripped or was it maybe the center might have had his foot back there. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes.
I think he got stepped on when he was coming back and just tripped over his own player and then lost control of the ball.
One receiver out here to the near side for the Hornets on this 2nd and 13. It's going to be the option play, pitch out here to the near side, and it's going to be trying to get around the corners. Myers, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 42, so he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage. Todd Porter in on the tackle that time for the Cardinals.
I tell you, Jake Leonard did a nice job on this corner. They had him kind of boxed up, and he threw the man away, but it took a blocker away, and that allowed Porter to come up and put the hit on him. 3rd and long. Look out for the tight end.
That tight end is Kassler, who scored a touchdown last week against Tecumseh.
He's a big kid.
He's here on this near side. Kassler, 6'2", 195-pound junior. Mullally up to the line of scrimmage. Cardinals 5-2 defense. Handoff goes to Greenlee trying to get around the left end, but he's not going to get anywhere. The Cardinals all
great
over
defense.
him. Great Ziegler is there, and also along with Rusty Reed, but the Cardinals had 4 or 5 players there going down the line of scrimmage, shutting down the Hornets. And if the Cardinals, if the Hornets thought they were going to catch the Cards off guard, possibly because of a pass play, Coldwater did a nice job staying home that time, so they stopped the Hornets 4 and out here. They're going to have to punt it away, and it didn't help Hillsdale to get off to that shaky start with the quarterback tripping and almost fumbling that first offensive play. For the Cardinals going back deep, we've got Howard and Reed. No score, 6:32 left. High snap, but we're going to get the kick away. Kind of wobbly, but it's going to come up. Going to be taken on the run by Howard at the 35, cuts back to the 40, breaks one tackle, and then he's hit hard right at the 41-yard line. So no score here in the early going between Hillsdale and Coldwater. Coldwater able to get one first down, and then the defense comes out for the Cardinals and stops the Hornets.
McKeon on that last running play just made a whale of a play at the corner. They had him double teamed, and he just wasn't going to let him get outside. Greenwood was going to get outside, and then he had a host of tacklers coming up and putting him to the turf for the no gain.
So 1st and 10 for Coldwater on their own 41-yard line. Up the middle goes Torres out across the 45. Gets a nice surge from his offensive line and gets out to about the 47-yard line. Longest gain of the night on the ground for the Cardinals. That's up 2nd and 5. Last night's action in the freshman game, Coldwater lost at Hillsdale by a score of 28-0. No JV game. Indication of the way things are going at some schools. Not enough numbers at Hillsdale for
6
a JV.
sophomores. 6 sophomores, and if you look, I think they're all up on the varsity.
2nd and a long 4 for the Cardinals. Handoff is going to go once again to Torres, and this time he's pushed back. Let's see who's up there.
That sophomore can hit. That's Canet again.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Canet 5'11". He's not that big. 5'11", 150.
He's a tough little cookie.
So there's a number and a name maybe that the Cardinals want to take a look at. I think that's at least the 3rd tackle, and as you say, he leaves an impression on the running back. Big 3rd down play for the Cardinals. They don't have long to go. 3rd and 2. The ball just short of midfield here with no score and 5:19 left here in the first quarter. Cardinals moving right to left on your radio dial. As Partial up to the line of scrimmage. Couple of fakes, gives to Reed on the right side. He'll have a first down if they give him the forward progress. He got it. The whole pile it takes for Hillsdale to finally get there. It's just a matter of when they're going to blow the whistle as Rusty approached the Hillsdale 46-yard line. He was stood up straight at that point, but struggled forward for the necessary yardage for the first down, and they moved the chains. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
He wasn't going to be denied there, but he was stopped at the beginning, but he just kept going, and then a couple of the linemen came up and just gave him a little nudge to get him over that first down marker.
So we saw that nice pass to the tight end to pick up 1 first down. We'll see maybe when we get back in the air again. We've got Shook, the tight end, here on this side. Ziegler, the tight end, on the far side for the Cardinals on this 1st and 10. Torres going up between left guard and left tackle, across the 45 down to about the 43.
I'll tell you, the option looks like it's open with the putting it in, bringing it out, and then running, and then he can either keep it or he can pitch to Porter, because there was basically nobody here. This end on this side and this cornerback on this side, Canet, is really going for that fake.
And we're seeing some nice ball handling, nice faking done tonight by the quarterback, Ryan Partial, for the Cardinals. 2nd and 6 for Coldwater on Hillsdale's 43-yard line. Couple of fakes.
Partial.
And here it is, Partial with the keep. He did a nice job faking it into Rusty Reed in the middle of the line. Comes across the 40. He's going to have first down yardage down to about the 35-yard line. And, Doug, I like the way that he kept the ball, because that's what you're going to do on the fake. You fake it. If you hand it off, then you still carry it out. And he had the ball tucked under his belly like, and you couldn't quite tell if he had it, and faked out a couple of Hillsdale players as well. And it's a nice first down, and you called it that time. The option keeper here to the near side for the Cardinals to pick up that first down. And this is their deepest penetration of the night. Coldwater on the Hillsdale 34-yard line. This time it's going to be a keep by Partial again. Has lots of room on the right side. Cuts up the middle. And he's all the way down to the Hillsdale 21-yard line.
I tell you, the play was made by Torres again. The fake, the kids really know how to cover themselves, as if they've got the ball, don't have the ball. And they run the same speed no matter what. And that time, Partial ran the same speed as if he didn't have the ball. Once he saw he was open, then he began to turn it upfield. He wanted to pitch it, but there was nobody there to tackle him, so he just took it himself.
That's my signals to get the binoculars out. 1st and 10 all the way down to the 21-yard line. Partial up to the line of scrimmage. In the slot here to the near side is Torres. And that's just tripped up right at the line of scrimmage that time for Rusty, as he tried to, as you said, the trap here to the near side. And nothing happening on that play for the Cardinals. So maybe a pickup of a generous 2 on that play. Cardinals just inside the Hillsdale 20-yard line. Clock continues to move. We're down to 3:11 left here in our scoreless first quarter at Cardinal Field. Twin Valley opener here tonight in Coldwater.
They're going to score on that play. I mean, they're going to score on that trap play. The same set going the other way.
We'll see how it develops. Reed right side, and he picks up a couple of more yards. Initially hit that time at the line of scrimmage by Justin Bates, and Rusty spins off of that tackle and gets down to about the 16. So crucial 3rd down play now for both of these teams. Coldwater again with its deepest penetration. They had earlier on their first drive 1 first down and then punted it away. Hillsdale 4 and out, and since then the Cardinals have been marching down to 2.5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 6 with the ball on the Hillsdale 17-yard line. Full house backfield now for the Cardinals. Couple of fakes. Partial rolling here to the near side. The pass still rolling. He's got room in front of him, but he unloads into the corner of the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone by Hillsdale. Knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line was Josh Warren. Josh Warren with the interception. 5'10", 162-pound junior. Doug, you said throw it. But
no,
then,
I said run it.
Oh, run it. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I thought he had the first down.
Well, I was looking for him to run as well. He did have first down yardage in front of him that looked to be open. But in that case, where you have Warren, he's following the quarterback all the way in the end zone, looking at his eyes.
Made a nice play.
Made a nice pickup. So the Cardinals thwarted with that interception by Hillsdale with 2:14 left here in the first quarter. Hillsdale now backed up in their own territory, but they stopped the Cardinals from scoring. So the Hornets now with their second offensive series trying to find a hit on the left side of the line is Sam Myers. He spins out to about the 15-yard line.
Reed was one of them, and it looks like
Leeson as well.
Yeah, Reed was the first man low.
So there's mistake number one, a big one on the night for the Cardinals. After that nice drive, letting it go to waste. But at least the Cardinals showing that they are able to move the ball, especially on the ground. Mullally, the quarterback for the Hornets, out on this second down. Hands off, and then he's keeping the ball. A couple of fakes, and a couple of players got hit that did not have the ball. McKean really hit Greenlee back deep in the backfield. But then it was Mullally with the option and the keeper, and pickup of about a yard. Joey Wright putting the sting on Mullally that time. Sets up a third down for the Hornets on their own 15-yard line.
I think Anthony made some great penetration, and that's why he pulled that ball back out and kept it himself, but that was going to be a handoff.
So big third down play for Hillsdale. Handoff straight up the middle to the fullback. Not much room there. He just pushed back, so it looks like Hillsdale, and for sure they're going to be in a punting position with 53 seconds and counting left here. So the Cardinals, after the turnover, say, you're not going anywhere. Where Hillsdale, as we see Nick Anthony in on the tackle, Rusty Reed also getting up from the bottom of the pile that time. So Coldwater's defense making a statement here in the early going. Twice for the Hornets, 4 and out.
They've yet to test us outside with any pitches or anything like that. And if I remember last year, it seemed to me like they would run some quick pitches, and that's what hurt us getting around the corner.
Kent Shannon with the punt. High punt. And it's going to be taken by Howard. 48, cuts here to the near side, breaks one tackle up to the 45. So the Cardinals will have good field position here as we're late in the first quarter. About one more play maybe for the Cardinals to get off here. We're still scoreless. Cardinals with the best chance to score just a few minutes ago. They were down on the Hillsdale 17-yard line when the interception, Warren picks off the pass intended in the deep corner of the end zone. But Hillsdale shut down on the offense. So Coldwater starting on Hillsdale's 45-yard line.
Each time they've kind of increased where they've started.
Slot back this time on the far side is Torres, Porter, Reed lining up behind Partial. Clock will start now. 15 seconds, 14 seconds. Reed here on the near side picks up 2, maybe 3.
Big quarter on this one.
And that'll bring our first quarter of play here tonight at Cardinal Field. Twin Valley opener between Hillsdale and Coldwater. No score. This is
Learn to show enthusiasm, even when you don't like it. Be the most positive and enthusiastic person you know. Attend your children's high school activities. Be a positive role model at your children's high school activities. Respect judgment calls made in good faith. Remember that kids play sports to have fun first. Be a fan, not a fanatic. Sportsmanship begins at home.
Cardinals come out 1st and 10 as we start the second quarter. Make it 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8 for the Cardinals. No score. Coldwater now left or right on your radio dial. They're on the Hillsdale 43-yard line, full house backfield behind Partial. Couple of fakes. Brian drops back to pass. Looking for Porter deep down the field. Passes up in the air for grabs, and a great catch by Porter down at the Hillsdale 22-yard line. The man on the defense that time for Hillsdale was Joe Snodgrass, and it was just put up there, and that's confidence in your receiver, and it was confidence that paid off as Porter taking it away from Snodgrass. Coldwater 1st and 10 down in the Hillsdale. Well, they mark it now back to about the 24-yard line, but 1st and 10 for Coldwater.
I tell you, it was a great job by Porter to shield off the defense, or he was going to step in and pick off another one, but he kept his body in front of him and just rode him out of the way and made the catch.
Partial up to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to go to Torres up the middle.
Partial.
No, it's going to be Partial when we have a flag on the play. Partial all the way down to the 5-yard line. And that's where he ends up stretching the ball out for extra yardage. Great fake it was up the middle to Torres. And then Partial with the option here to the near side. And we'll see what this flag is. It looks like it may come back. Maybe a hold against the Cardinals.
Porter. Hold it right in front of the umpire, right in front of the head official. So they'll take it from that. It'll be 10 yards back.
And we'll put that as the second big mistake for the Cardinals. Earlier on the turnover, the interception that the Cardinals were driving, and now on this play when the Cardinals are on the 24-yard line of Hillsdale with that first down run, with Partial getting all the way down into the red zone, all the way, in fact, down to the 10-yard line of Hillsdale. Instead of being at the 10, it's going to be all the way out to Hillsdale's 35-yard line, and we'll call it 1st and 20 now for the Cardinals.
Hey, Brian's doing a nice job of faking the ball, but he's doing a little better job in running the ball tonight. He's running with some authority.
Look at the improvement overlay. Yeah.
Right, but he's getting some great downfield blocking, too, by his offside lineman.
Just moments into the second quarter, no score here at Coldwater. And it's going to be Torres up the middle, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown for Coldwater. Boy, great
little trap. Trap on the inside. And after he broke the line of scrimmage, it was just a matter of him getting to the outside. And he had two blockers downfield again, and then he just outran the defender to the end zone.
35-yard touchdown run by Chris Torres puts the Cardinals on top, 6-0.
That was a nice job of blocking by the center and the guards.
Second touchdown of the season for Torres. He had one last week, and the Cardinals opening game loss to Plainwell. Cardinals are going to go for 2. Come out in the full house set. Marshall has him down, and we got some movement on the left side of the line for the Cardinals.
Whoa. A little extra shot there on, is that Coquina, 72? He'll talk to him about that. Matt will give him a few words.
Nick Anthony jumping off a little early on the left side of the line for the Cardinals, so they'll have to go an extra 5 here to pick up the 2-point conversion.
They brought in a T that's going to kick it.
Okay. It would be Matt Shook to try the...
Holy smoke, Matt. It's not a field goal. Get that baby up there, buddy. Well, he wants to get it outside of that 15-yard line to make it a 25-yarder.
So Shook to try. Snap to Howard. Kick is up, and it's no good. Wide to the right. Oh, looks like it almost had enough distance, but wide to the right. So the Cardinals penalized there and can't go for the 2. Have to try the kick. It is no good, but here with 11:31 left in the second quarter on the 35-yard touchdown run by Chris Torres, the Cardinals lead Hillsdale by a score of 6-0. And we've got sophomore playing his first varsity game, Aaron Taggart, doing the kickoff duties for Cardinals. Nice end over, and it's going to be taken by one of the upbacks for the Hornets, breaking up to the 45-yard line. And then Matt Shook says, yeah, I got to tackle. And he put a big hit on the Hillsdale returner out to the 36-yard line where the Hornets will set up shop, trailing 6-0.
Got some help with Aaron Skinner there, too. Number 13 was in there on the hit also. But Shook got the full shot.
Well, the Hillsdale offense maybe getting the message from somebody that they got to start moving on Coldwater. Both times 4 and out. Cardinals defense outstanding here tonight so far. Tossing the shutout at the Hornets. Again, Mullally, the quarterback, Greenlee and Myers, the 2 running backs for the Hornets. And they've got a slot back to the far side of the field. Mullally bumps again into the center. The ball's down on the ground, and he picks it up. So just like the first play of the game when we had a problem between Mullally and a center. Let's see what that problem center's name is. Brian Ellis, 6'1", 190, and looks like he stepped on him again. Nick Anthony in the territory almost to pick up the loose ball, but Mullally is able to recover and pick it up and actually gain a couple of yards.
Anthony is very quick off the ball. He's probably one of the quickest down linemen I've seen coming off the ball. And the other thing is the backs are just not, they're banging one another, and I think that's what happened that time. He ran into the quarterback, causing the fumble.
Warren split out to the far side for the Hornets, and the ball is tipped to the line of scrimmage, intercepted by Taggart. At the 35, down to about, he just picked off a rebound there at the 35-yard line, and there's Taggart.
The ball was tipped by an interior lineman, and I'm not sure. It might have been either Gleason or it might have been how can I forget Anthony? Anthony's the other guy that's always in the backfield.
Yeah, and he's the quarterback's arm as he's trying to throw on that to force the turnover. Ball is flying up in the air. Taggart picks it up. Cardinals once again in Hillsdale territory with 10:44 left here in the first quarter. Marshall drops back to pass. Man wide open. Shook 20. Knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So the Cardinal offense is now clicking. And they're in the red zone again of Hillsdale, leading already by a score of 6-0. And I was going to say really about Brian Parshall, the improvement, Doug, the improvement we're seeing here tonight. And you just look at it, having that first game under his belt, and then another week of practice. He just looks very sharp tonight.
Well, it makes a big difference when they don't put the pressure on you like they did last week. Gives you a little more time, and that's what he's doing. He's taking his time, and he's making a nice throw.
That brings the confidence as well for the quarterback. Running play. It's going to go Torres up the middle again. Gets one block, and he gets all the way down inside the 5, all the way down to about the 2-yard line. And I think it was Porter escorting him downfield that time, wasn't he?
Well, if Porter would have stepped in front of him a little bit, Torres might have gone to the outside and scored. But when he steps into him, he's got two guys he's got to beat down there. But a nice running play. Again, nice job of the line of scrimmage. Good downfield blocking, and Hillsdale seen enough, and I need a timeout and talk this baby over. Well, they got an injured player there, too. 32's kind of hobbling off there on the sideline, and that young man is Chad Howard, 5'8", 145-pound junior.
I tell you, as Torres continues to pound it up the middle, Doug, that you said it earlier, that really sets up the option play. You fake it into Torres, and as well as he carries out those fakes, and then Parshall can just scoot around the right side, or that's where it's been predominant here to the near side, that he might run that quarterback option. So a lot of options are out there tonight for the Cardinals, the way they're playing. And, take nothing away from Hillsdale, but they certainly are not a Plainwell kind of team that we're seeing here tonight.
No, they're not as big, and I don't think they're as deep talent-wise. Coldwater speaking about the option. Again, you got your quick guy, Jarvis, that's setting out this first half. You get him in there and you run that option, run that pitch to him, and they may not have anybody to catch him.
So a good reason for the Cardinal band there to fire up a little bit here. And a few more folks checking in now. The good-sized crowd here tonight, right below me here at Cardinal Field. A little late-arriving crowd, I might call it. And the Hornets defense now checking back out into the field, trying to get pumped up by their coach, second-year coach, Paul Ozentowski.
I would think this one may go to Reed. Torres has got a touchdown. Let's spread a little wealth.
First and goal from the Hillsdale 2-yard line. 10:31 left here in our first half. Here comes the snap to Parshall. And close down to the end zone is Reed, and just maybe a half a yard short. Let's see where they marked that ball. Yeah, sure, it's inside the 1, so call it about the 3-foot line for the Cardinals to score. They're up 6-0 already. And that's all the result of the turnover, the interception on the ball that was tipped up at the line of scrimmage and pulled down by Aaron Taggart at the Hillsdale 30-yard line. Second and short. Second and goal for the Cardinals. Parshall, handoff, Reed, right side, touchdown, Coldwater, and this time he barrels into the end zone.
Just power football right there. 1-yard plunge for Reed.
And now it'd be important for the Cardinals to pick up that 2-point conversion earlier after the Cardinals' first score. And a penalty, some movement on the line, and that put it back another 5 yards, and they tried the kick by Shook, and it was no good. So let's see if the Cardinals can convert this time. Parshall up to the line of scrimmage for the 2-point conversion. Rolls out left side, has a couple of men open in the end zone, and he was jumping up and down, upset with himself. 2 guys over there open, and the pass was short and low. So for the second time, Cardinals failed to convert, but they do have their second touchdown of the night. 9:51 left here in the first half. Twin Valley opener, Coldwater 12, Hillsdale nothing. This nice end over end kick's going to come up to McNew at the 25. So McNew takes the kickoff for Hillsdale at about his 25, gets out across the 30 and 35 up to about the 37-yard line, where Hillsdale will start out. The Hillsdale offense tonight really struggling, and you give all the credit, most of it, to the Coldwater defense. Great penetration, getting into that Hillsdale backfield, and then Mullally, the quarterback, having some trouble with the snaps twice, almost fumbling the ball away. Hillsdale this time with the slot on the far side of the field, goes pitch to Myers, the deep back, has some room around the far side, makes one nice move at the 40, gets out across the 45 to the 46-yard line before he's tackled by Todd Porter. So good yardage on first down, best pickup of the night so far for the Hornets.
Came from the pitch, too. That's what got us last week. That's what that was their big gainers last year, I think. They just turned around and made that quick pitch either to Greenlee or also to Myers, and they just, gobbled up the yards on the outside.
Greenlee with 160 yards last week, and that loss to Tecumseh. And it's going to go to the deep back once again, Myers. And the Hillsdale offensive line getting a little better push this time, and that's going to result in a little better yardage as well. Porter once again there, along with the Brant Ziegler, linebacker for the Cardinals, and they do move the chain, so Hillsdale finally able to get that initial first down, but it doesn't come until 9:02 left in the first half, and they're already trailing Coldwater by a score of 12-0. But they get right back into it if they score, and then even more importantly, get that two-point conversion. Mullally, the quarterback, with the Hornets up to the line of scrimmage, just across midfield into Coldwater territory, and this is going to be the Myers once again, and not much yardage here on the near side. Pickup of about 2, Chris Torres leading the way on the tackles for the Cardinals. Brant Ziegler captaining the defense tonight for Coldwater. They've got McNew and the slot back to the far side. The Hornets do now. He steps back a little bit off the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 8 for Hillsdale. Handoff this time goes to Greenlee, and Cardinals there. Pickup of about 2, maybe 3. Nick Anthony for the Cardinals along with Ziegler.
Porter also came up there from his safety and also put a lick on him. I think you need 2 or 3 guys every time on that guy to haul him down.
Porter's been very active in this defensive series for the Cardinals. Third time we've mentioned his name. Nathan Coy is one of the receivers that is bringing in the play for the Hornets. He's out to the far side of the field on this 3rd and 5. Big third down play at the Hornets want to keep this drive alive. Back to pass as Mullally goes out to the right side, and he was aiming that in that flat area for McCoy. Good defensive coverage that time by Lenhart for the Cardinals. And that's an incomplete pass. Stops the clock with 7:32 left here in the first half. The Cardinals up 12-0, and I would think that the Hornets are going to go for it here on the Cardinal 44-yard line, their best penetration, and they need to get back into it with a score. So they're going to, maybe they're punted away. The Cardinals are going deep.
No, they're going to go for it.
So they get quickly. A couple of Cardinals are back there. Howard, and we'll see. Let's look for the pitch. DJ calls it.
Greenlee coming this way.
Mullally looking over the line of scrimmage, and it's going to come this way. You called it right. Greenlee at midfield. Not much room, but cuts nicely, and he might be having the first down as he waited for his blockers to get out in front of them and then found a nice seam here to the near side. And finally, Ziegler able to make the tackle. Good downfield blocking. Aaron Gleason also in on the tackle, and we're going to get a measurement here, so it might be close.
It's going to be real close, but I think it may be a second effort with the twisting of the tackle may have put him across there because they hit him in this side of the 40.
Initially, it looked like
41-yard line, but he spun when he got tackled, and it may have leaned forward enough to pick it up.
Well, it came wide here to the near side. It developed rather slowly, that play did, but again, as we said, a nice job by Greenlee picking up his blockers as they've got the chains now pulled out. We'll look for the signal from the official, and the Cardinals do put this stop on, and it couldn't get it because the officials were completely surrounding the ball. Couldn't quite see the yardage, but it had to be close, and the Cardinals hold.
That's a nice job right there. Nice job. I can't believe the third down play. I mean, Lenhart is all over the receiver, and if he does throw it to the receiver, I mean, he's going to either intercept it or tackle him right away, and they're still going to be short. But I just, they've had so much success going to the outside on that series. I don't know why they wouldn't have tried a couple of runs to the outside.
Cardinals up 12-0. They start on their own 39-yard line.
Trap.
And Torres greeted right at the line of scrimmage. Let's see if that's...
Had Renner with a good block, but...
66 in on the tackle that time, and that's Kent Shannon.
But Matt Kokinas didn't have a good block, and he knows it because he was slow getting up. If he had had a good block, there would have been a lot of room right there.
So one of the best stops Hillsdale's been able to make tonight right at the line of scrimmage on a run. No gain for Coldwater. 7 minutes exactly left in the first half. Full house backfield still for the Cardinals. Coming here to the near side is Partial. He still got it. Breaks across midfield. 40. Knocked out of bounds finally. And then we're going to get a flag, number 66.
Oh, he's throwing a beanbag down. I can't believe that.
Well, he's 66 is Shannon, who just made that earlier tackle, and it was clearly Partial out of bounds here by about 2 or 3 yards, and he's taken down.
I figured we might get 15 more there.
Well,
maybe he doesn't have a flag. Maybe he plays with a beanbag.
Brian Partial just doing a great job tonight on the fakes. We got to wait and just see who's got the ball. He covers it up no matter whether he's got it or doesn't have it. And the Cardinal running backs doing the great fake into the line of scrimmage as well. The Cardinals 1st and 10 as they are down once again in Hillsdale territory at the Hornet 34-yard line.
Back to the inside.
And it's going to be Rusty Reed, and he's tripped up just as he crosses the line of scrimmage. You know, Doug, you're getting to sound a little bit like Hank Stram up here. You just call everything before it's run.
I mean, you know, I don't know how much audible they do, but they'll be packed in, and we get them on the outside, and then when they spread it out, we come back and pick up a couple, 3 on the inside.
So you're getting your...
They're not disguising their defense too much at all. They're not moving around. They go up and they stand, and there they are. And if he get audible at all at the line of scrimmage, you could. I mean, right now they're set up to go back inside again because look at all the wide people.
Torres here on the slot to the near side for the Cardinals on this 2nd and 8. It's going to go to Reed, and he pounds up the middle across the 30 down about the Hillsdale 27-yard line. Cardinals need to get down to the just inside the 25-yard line to pick up a first down. Clock continues to move, pretty fast moving. Second quarter, not much through the air, so the clock continues to move. We'll call it 3rd and 4 for the Cardinals. They've scored a pair of touchdowns here in the first half, missed both of the conversions, so they're up by a score of 12-zip.
Well, I don't think there's much stunning going on by them. Any linebackers are coming. They're just kind of setting back and letting them come to them. Yeah, they're just kind of lethargic out there.
3rd and 4 for the Cardinals. Let's see if they can pick up the first down, probably in 4-down territory, and it's going to be the keep once again by Partial. And he'll have the first down. Spins away from a tackler at the 15. Fakes inside down to the 10-yard line, and then he's pushed back to the 15. We'll see where they mark the forward progress. So Partial putting on a show here tonight.
About the 12-yard line. He's running with much more confidence than he did last week. And again, I think, a lot of it is the different teams you play. Plainwell came at you.
Oh,
These guys are setting back, letting you come at them, and you can come at them all day and wind up getting hurt, like somebody down there's all folded over holding his stomach. So probably got the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
Well,
or got a stinger on his arm. Herm's right there.
That's what it looks like.
Probably the most confident, best trainer in the Twin Valley by far. Looks like he's I think he maybe just got the wind knocked out of him the way he was holding himself. Well, they're moving his left arm a little bit. Maybe got a little stinger there.
Well, it makes a difference, as you say. Cardinals moving the ball tonight, a lot of confidence. Plus also, he's up now. The Hillsdale player seems to be okay. Number 88 for Hillsdale. No, it's Snodgrass, Joe Snodgrass. He's the one that made the interception earlier that stopped that Coldwater drive, or it might be 18 or 20 or more than that to nothing tonight. The Cardinals with their second drive of the night had the interception when they were down on the Hillsdale 17-yard line on that intercepted pass. But for the Cardinals now, they come out 1st and 10. They're on the Hillsdale 11-yard line. Full house backfield. Porter on the near side here. Torres in the middle. Rusty Reed on the far side for the Cardinals as the officials want to get everything lined up. There's the whistle. We're ready to go.
Wide left's wide open.
Partial has him set down. Fakes. Partial rolls out to the right side. Fires down into the end zone, and it is caught. A low pass, but a nice reception. They're
going
to wave it off. Calling a trap that time.
That was Ziegler. I thought it made a nice catch, but maybe it hit him in the belly and fell to the ground. He covered it up real well. But that time, Brian could have run again.
Well, yeah, I think it showed on that time where you talked about they're just not getting any penetration, no pressure on the quarterback. So when you're rolling out there and you can set your sights downfield and you know you can either pass or run, and you do have that full option package. That's what Partial has. 2nd and 10 now. Clock stops 5:10 on the incomplete pass. 5:10 left here in the first half. Coldwater up by a score of 12-0, and a running play up the middle.
Reed.
A couple of yards maybe for Rusty, and the fake's carried out here to the near side to Porter. And Partial also fakes here to the near side after the handoff. Keep the Hornet defense guessing, but they didn't have to guess too much. They were ready that time in the middle for the play for Reed. So now it sets up 3rd and about 8 for the Cardinals. The ball just inside the 10-yard line.
You know, Brian runs much better to his right. Of course, he's right-handed, but that time he had to kind of stop and turn his body a little bit and make that throw, and it came up a little short to Ziegler.
We'll see if we keep the run up the middle this time. And that's where it goes. Torres, a huge hole up the middle. Touchdown. I just wanted to wait to see if he's going to hand the ball to the referee to make sure he had it, because, as you say, they just run those plays whether they have the ball or not. Yeah. But Torres, his 2nd touchdown of the night, we'll call it an 11-yard touchdown run for Coldwater, coming at the 4:25 mark of the first half. Coldwater increases that lead now to 18-0.
I tell you what, you could have drove a truck through that
ball.
Well,
I know, and I got to get on those offensive linemen and give those guys the credit to catch a couple of numbers.
On that side, it's Taggart at center, and on the left side is Parker.
Anthony,
right.
And the Cardinals going for 2 with the rollout into the end zone. Touchdown, not touchdown, extra 2 points for Partial. And the Cardinals finally convert for 2. It was a nice stretch by Partial that time to get into the end zone to pick up the 2 points. So for the Cardinals, it's shutout here in the first half so far. Coldwater 20 and Hillsdale nothing. So the Hillsdale Hornets staring a 14th straight loss in a row in the face unless they turn things around in the second half, because right now they are trailing Coldwater by a score of 20-0 here in the first half. A short kickoff comes to one of the up linemen for the Hornets, and that's one of the tight ends, Chris Amaseger, one of the better receivers.
Got a flag, and the young man's waving it at number 58, I believe.
Jake Linhart in on the tackle that time on the kickoff for Coldwater, along with Todd Porter. And we got a face mask call against Coldwater.
I wonder why that's thrown through over here. Probably maybe our guy blocked and got a hold of a mask. Official's coming over and talking to him. Said he grabbed right off his mask. He just wanted to get a good look at him. Didn't harm the play any. The play was clear on the other side of the field.
Going to give the Hornets just their 2nd penetration of the night down in the Coldwater territory. Is, if I'm right, I think the Hornets just with 1 first down here in the first half so far. But they start out just across midfield in Coldwater territory. And the quarterback maybe wishes he would have handed it off that time. He faked into the line and kept the ball, and he meets up with Chris Torres.
That's slow developing play right there.
Almost non-developing.
Almost like, here, we're going to do this, and then we're going to pull it out and get hammered.
So we're seeing why Hillsdale has struggled, but not to take it away from the Cardinals tonight, coming back after the loss last week to Plainwell, looking very sharp on both sides of the ball. 2nd and 9 for the Hornets, who trail 20-0. 3:45 left here in the first half. Back to passes. Mullally has some good protection. Goes out to the right side. It's complete to that tight end. The big one for the Hornets. 35-30 inside the 30-yard line, and it's Kassler, their best receiver, best target for sure. It's 6'2", 195, the junior, and finally pushed out of bounds by Jesse Griffin.
Well, I tell you what, boy, they do a lot of banging downfield, and I don't mean Coldwater. I mean Hillsdale bumping into one another. And he couldn't get off the line of scrimmage. He had to dodge 2 of his players down there before he could get out there and make that catch.
Get out of my way. Not helping their own cause, but they do help themselves to a first down. 1st and 10, the ball on the Coldwater 34-yard line. Ball goes to the deep back. Myers finds some room around the right side, and he shows a little speed to get there to the outside, inside the 25, down to about the 22-yard line. And Rusty Reed making the tackle for the Cardinals. So by far the deepest movement into Coldwater territory tonight for Hillsdale. They're doing it late here in the first half with 3:15 and counting, and we've got an official timeout. No, now it's just a mini timeout. Clock will.
Oh, they wanted the clock to stop because he was out of bounds. Maybe he was moving a little bit. He's looking this way.
Greenlee and Myers in the backfield, still behind Mullally. And it's going to go to Greenlee. And he gets a pretty good forward push from his line. Then it gets pushed back the other way. Doing that pushing for Coldwater. Nick Anthony. Joey Wright. But it's good. 21-yard line, but good enough to move the chain. So Hillsdale, with its third first down of this drive, at the 21 of Coldwater. Hillsdale bouncing back nicely on this offensive series, coming into it just one first down in the ball game, and now their third first down of this series. And it's going to be the quarterback,
Anthony and
Gleason, or is that Parker?
62.
69 is Anthony.
62 is Gleason. Both of them right there.
Meeting at the quarterback. That's a nice place for the defense to gather, and they did that time. That looked just about the same as that earlier play when the option is just it's not there.
Yeah, what he's trying to do, he's rolling to his right, and then he comes back to his left. And when he came back, there were two guys waiting for him.
A loss of a yard, 2nd and 11, 2:16 left. Quick pitch goes out to Myers. Halfback option pass down in the end zone, and it's going to be almost intercepted by the Cardinals, who had double coverage that time on Kasler. Back there was Howard, and also I think it was Torres.
Yeah. You know, they were doing a little bumping when they were running down there.
Howard almost had the interception that time for the Cardinals over on the far side, down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. So for sure, Kasler is the prime receiver for the Hornets. We'll look for him again possibly. 3rd and 11 now. Clock stops with 2:08 here in the first half. Cardinals trying to take a shot out into the locker room. Mullally up at the line of scrimmage, looking over the defense. Drops back, fakes, hands off to the running back, and not getting much room as the Cardinals are swarm tackling that time to Greenlee.
Gleason was the first guy, and then Anthony was also there.
So Greenlee getting up slow, heading back to the... Grant Ziegler also in on the tackle that time, and Hillsdale huddling up. They also, I believe, are going to want to talk about it. An important play for them coming up. They want to get off the goose egg. 4th and 8 for Hillsdale. 1:43 left in our first half. We'll take a break. This 4th and 8 for Hillsdale. They trail 20-0, and they're on the Coldwater 19-yard line. Mullally up to the line of scrimmage along count, trying to draw the Cardinals off sides. But why do that when you need to pick up 5 yards? It wouldn't do any good. Wouldn't give them a first
would
down.
Get them closer, and then they get that extra down, you know. It ain't going to work.
Yeah.
That was a great job there by the patience by the Cards.
So they just...
Back-to-back timeouts. You know, you can't take them with you. You might as well use them.
4th and 8 for the Hornets. Best penetration, but they've got to get 8 yards to keep this drive alive. They're on the Coldwater 19-yard line, trailing 20-0. Mullally up to the line of scrimmage for Hillsdale.
Try her again.
He's not going to try it again. He's going to drop back to pass. Has some good coverage. Pump fake. Has it out here to the side, and it's going to be Greenlee with the reception, but he is taken down immediately by the Cardinals. See who's over there on the defense for Coldwater with the takedown.
Leonard.
Well, he's had a good game tonight.
Yes,
Leonard has. Nick Anthony also in the territory over there, but it was Leonard with the tackle, and hey, he's been right there. Any pass in his territory, if he's not getting intercepted, he's going to be right there to make the stick and the hit. And so Hillsdale turns it over on downs. Coldwater to take over on their own 16-yard line. Second time tonight, Coldwater has stopped Hillsdale on 4th down. The Cardinals taking over 1st and 10 on their own 15-yard line. They're ahead comfortably 20-0 here late in the first half. And it's going to be a running play, breaking free for the Cardinals. Rusty Reed out across the 35, out across the 40, out to about the 42-yard line. Longest run of the night for Rusty. And as we said, if you didn't join us earlier, he had a great game last year against Hillsdale as a sophomore with 189 yards. And the Cardinals quickly called timeout.
That's what you call a defensive mental letdown. You got down close to scoring. Some of your kids come back to play defense. Not prepared on that play right there. They wonder, they're still thinking about the offense, why we didn't score, And, I mean, again, another big old hole, and Rusty runs well and picked it up. Howard's coming out, so it must be Porter went back in.
I'll be with you tomorrow morning on AM 1590 News, and we'll bring you some more information about the Kids Kingdom Project, which will have its dedication grand opening late on Sunday afternoon. But they need all the volunteers they can get. If you didn't sign up, just stop on by. It's a lot of fun. We'll find something for you to do over at Edison Park. A lot of progress made there today, and but still a lot of work to do. But it'll get done on time, and it's a great, great community happening, seeing this playground go up. The playground designed by kids. Coldwater now, 1st and 10. They're on their own 42-yard line as Jamie Spray coming off the field, taking his time.
In a real big hurry. Talking about a 9.540 or whatever.
Well, let's see. He finally makes it. Coldwater will keep it on the ground. It's going to be a pitch, or will Partial keep it? He pitches out here to Reed, out to the 45, puts his head down, crosses midfield, down to the Hillsdale 48-yard line, and the official says, no, you did not get out of bounds, and he keeps the clock running with 1:13, 1:12 counting left here in the first half. And they're taking the
2-minute drill.
I thought he picked up the first down. They're not moving the chains. They give him a gain of about 9. They need another yard, so we'll call it 2nd and 1 for the Cardinals. And it's going to go to Reed, left side of the line, a nice hole, and then as he hits the 45, he's pushed back, but easy first down, and easy call on that one for the Cardinals to call a timeout. Cardinals 1st and 10, 55 seconds left to try and get in for that 4th touchdown of the night. Partial up to the line of scrimmage, fakes, drops back to pass. He wants to go to the up back, and it's going to be complete. Taggart inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line.
Jarvis got a little pop in down there. Coldwater with another timeout.
Partial gets him up to the line of scrimmage. 47 seconds left to score here in the first half. Let's see what develops for the Cardinals. Partial
Wide.
goes to Jarvis, cuts back, now outside, use the speed to get around the corner. Inside the 20, across the 15, down to about the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. And let's see whether he got out of bounds over there.
I don't think he did.
But they stopped the clock to move the chains.
Yeah, clock stops to move the chains. They got to get up on the line of scrimmage, and you're cranking it, so he's got to get up there.
And clock continues to move now. 34, 33 seconds left here in the first half.
Same kind of a deal, same kind of set.
Jarvis and
maybe
Reed.
Maybe Rusty this time.
Partial fakes, rolls out here to the near side, going down to the end zone, wide open touchdown. Coldwater for Bolton. So a couple of big receptions for Bolton on this touchdown drive for the Cardinals, and a touchdown pass of 12 yards from Partial to Bolton. Comes with 19 seconds left here in the first half.
That's a nice fake. Everything was going the same way as it did before. The only thing is he was going to hand it to Jarvis, brought it back out rather than pitch. Rolled out here, and Bolton at the tight end spot just kind of went down about 4 like he was going to block. Kind of faded a little pattern to the corner and wide open, and Partial hit him on the fly.
Bolton, a 6'1 senior, 184 pounds for the Cardinals, who will go for 2. 26-0, that Cardinal lead late here in the first half.
Same set. Look for Jarvis to go wide or Reed up the middle.
Partial.
Jarvis
hand
wide.
off. Jarvis wide. Breaks one tackle. Sneaks inside. Boy,
he's hurting a little bit, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's limping a little bit. He just pretty much ducked under that one tackle as he neared the end zone, and he's limping a little bit there. Maybe that came when he had to make that.
What's that run when he got knocked out of bounds on the other side?
Okay, but he's all right. The Cardinals need to put this in their memory bank, what it feels like here tonight, the confidence, being able to move the ball and how that feels, and keep that there, because next week, tough assignment for the Cardinals. We're on the road at Harper Creek. Harper Creek tonight, a great ball game, it should be. They're going up against preseason favorite in the Twin Valley, the Sturgis Trojans. Howard with a low line drive, going to be taken by the Hornets at the 30, coming here to the near side, and then taken down by Ziegler.
Skinner and Ziegler.
Well, they've been a good tandem tonight on a couple of occasions on the defense, taking down Nathan Coy, a 5'9", 148-pound senior. So 13 ticks left on the scoreboard here at halftime, 28-0 Coldwater. Jim Measle back at Football Central, ready with all the first half highlights and the news and the scores and whatever else he can dream up, and he can dream up a lot. One receiver out to the far side for the Hornets on what may be the last play of the first half. Mullally, hand off into the line. Nothing doing
All by
there.
himself,
Anthony, and then Torres comes over quickly to pull him up and say, nice tackle for Coldwater. And that's going to be it for the first half. Clock ticks off. There's the triple zeros on the board, and there's 1-0 on the right side. That's Hillsdale's. And on the other side, 28. Impressive first half performance here tonight for the Cardinals, and the fans do appreciate it.
Emphasize respect. Treat everyone with dignity, honesty, and integrity. Cherish your children for what they are, not for what you'd like them to be. Remember that high school sports are conducted in a classroom. Act like you're in one. There are no excuses for taunting and trash talk. Remember, it's a privilege to play high school sports. Remember, it's a privilege to attend high school sporting events. Sportsmanship begins at home.
Part of our Grease show for you. It features a number of songs from the hit movie musical, which was re-released this past year. We think you will enjoy the music as much now as you did 20 years ago when you first heard it. Our first piece is a collection of two of the songs, We Go Together and Grease Lightning. And now, the Coldwater High School Cardinal Marching Band. Fun music. We will now perform the toe tapping, shaken at the high school hop. tonight, we would like to feature our flat corps. Who can forget the pink wig and the sad song of the beauty school dropout? The trumpet solo was performed by Josiah Parker.
Hello, I'm B.B. King. No education is complete without music. Find out how you can ensure your child receives a well-rounded education that includes music. Call this toll-free number.
So we're just about ready for the start of the second half. Coldwater dominating 28-0. Here comes the kick. Short squibber down here to the near side of the field, picked up by the Hornets, out to the 40, breaking some tackles, cutting back to the inside, out to the 45-yard line, and nice run back for
Renner, I believe, got the tackle. 58. Will Renner, Jr.
Warren was trying to pick out. He's one of the number changes, Warren, and it's Warren with the carry for the Hornets. So they start out with some pretty good field position all the way out to their own 44-yard line. 1st and 10, and let's see what they can do with that hog bladder. As our man Mees in Football Central calls it. They pick up the hog bladder now at the 44-yard line. Hillsdale, 1st and 10. We're just underway here in the second half at Cardinal Field. Mullally, the starting quarterback, and we'll give you those other running backs. Greenlee now with the carry, gets his best yardage of the night, breaks tackles. He comes out fired up across midfield, inside the 45, down to the Cardinal 44-yard line. By far the best run of the night. Greenlee, the starting running back, Eric Greenlee, along with Sam Myers, and on the tackle that time, Brant Ziegler for the Cardinals. Mullally is the starting quarterback, and a new man in there as far as slot back, Warren. He's been playing on defense tonight, but he's in there now as a slot for the Hornets. Kasler, the big tight end, Brandon Kasler, and he had a couple of catches in the first half. Emaseger, the other tight end for the Hornets. 1st and 10 at the Coldwater 44. Man in motion is to the far side, McNew. Now he's in the slot. Toss back to Myers. Gets one nice block, and line of scrimmage is going to be pulled down by Rusty Reed did a nice job penetrating and showed some speed there because it looked like McNew was going to get around the corner, but not to be, and he's going to be thrown for a 2-yard loss.
I'll tell you, the play that time came from the outside backer on that side, or maybe it might have even been the end shook by penetration, getting across the line of scrimmage and making the young man cut back up, and that's when Reed was right there to put a hit on him.
Actually a 3-yard loss, they'll call it, so it's 2nd and 13 now for the Hornets. Mullally's up at the line of scrimmage, goes down the line, keeps the ball himself, and he's going to be pulled down, and not much room there as Joey Wright in on the tackle that time for the Cardinals. He didn't take anything on the option, and he'd like to take the quarterback down, and he did right there for he picks up maybe a couple of yards. It'll set up 3rd and long, 3rd and 11, as the Hornets had their best starting position, field position of the game here tonight, but they're stymied right now inside Coldwater territory at the 45-yard line. They send a receiver out to the far side. That's Coy. 2 setbacks for the Hornets on this 3rd and 11.
Watch the tight end.
Dropping back, Mullally still.
Can't get off the line of scrimmage.
And he goes to that tight end. You called it. That's their favorite receiver, Kasler.
Shook will let him off the line of scrimmage. He was right there, kept pushing him in the back. Pushing him in the backfield, and finally he broke loose, and they made the completion to him, but he only picked up like 5 yards, maybe not even 5.
Lenart, once again, he's in on the tackle, and he's done a great job tonight. Jake Lenart in the secondary. And the Hornets, of course, got to go for it here with 10:03 left here in the 3rd quarter. No, I guess they are going to kick it away. First kick of the night we'll see what happens, but it would be the first punt of the night for the Hornets.
Quarterback's up. Yeah.
Yeah, there he goes, the fake. Quarterback takes it in with a heavy rush, and is going to be pulled down by Torres. Yeah, great job by Torres. And he was not faked at all. He just was right there, the bead on the quarterback right at midfield, pulls him down. And so the Cardinals take over, stopping the Hornets, picking up where they left off in that first half, and then we'll start off in Hillsdale territory just across midfield. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals on the Hillsdale 49, and if the Cardinals score again, maybe a couple of times, we'll see what Jamie Spray wants to do. Maybe we'll see call off some names and numbers that we haven't had in the first half, but it'll be the starting lineup out there now for the Cardinals.
Reed. Yeah. Jarvis is in for Reed, and Howard's in at the other back.
Couple of fakes. Jarvis left side has a block out in front of him. Bolton. And Jarvis quickly inside the 40, 35, 30, gets around the corner. What a great burst of speed when he got to the 40. And the Cardinals on the move with Jarvis. 1st and 10. And it was, Bolton was out there with and he got blown by, quickly, Jarvis just went right around him, and you just get out of the way.
That was a 21-yard carry, and that's 2 carries for, I believe it's like 38 or 39 yards, because he had 1 carry for 17.
He'll check out for a breather, Jarvis will. Porter now back in the backfield. Torres and Reed back there. Marshall up to the line of scrimmage. Rolls out here to the near side. Thinks about the fake. Tosses it out to Howard. 25. Breaks the tackle. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, but I think we got a flag on the play.
Flag on the weak side, and if that's away from something, we maybe got a hold. Yeah, Shook's not real happy about this deal.
Well, that's too bad. It's got to come back. That would have been a score with 9:43 left here in the 3rd quarter, but it will come back.
I don't know if that was on him or not, but I showed when the guy talking to him, he kind of just turned around and walked away. Somebody on that back side, which is well away from the play, maybe got a hand out or something. That's too bad. That was a nice play there. Nice run by Howard.
And it was a nice option by Parshall, waiting till the last second to toss it out to Howard here to the near side, but it's coming back. What was it? Back to the 37-yard line of Hillsdale.
Porter's back in there. Jarvis is out. So you got Porter, Torres the fullback,
Howard on the far side. Parshall still the quarterback. 5-2 defense still, and quickly thrown handoff goes up the middle. The Hillsdale defender thought that Parshall still had the ball, but it's Torres across the 35 down to about the Hillsdale 33-yard line.
I'll tell you, I think Torres had to reach back to get the ball because Parshall was being pulled away from the line of scrimmage. And I didn't think Parshall even got the ball to him, but Torres must have reached back there and got it and took off and picked up about 7.
Torres now back in that backfield for the Cardinals. He'll be here on the near side. Slot back to the far side over there is Torres for the Cardinals. 2nd and 14, 9 minutes left. Coldwater up by a score of 28-0.
Goes Jarvis.
Jarvis around the left side this time. Great penetration and thrown down.
It's that little sophomore again.
Yeah, Grant Kinnett. Yeah, he almost just tossed him down just like with almost one hand. He showed the speed to stay with the running back, and he goes right down. So the loss, second straight loss on a running play for the Cardinals. So it's going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and about 15 for Coldwater on the Hillsdale 34-yard line. 8:34 and counting. Cardinals up comfortably by 4 touchdowns. Marshall up to the line of scrimmage. Fakes. Deep penetration. Now he's rolling out here to the near side. Another fake gets around the runner, but this time he's going to be stopped and pulled down by Hillsdale. He spun away from a couple of tackles that time before Greenlee finally put the wraps around Marshall at about the 35. Couldn't get any receivers open as he rolled here to the near side, and it's going to set up 4th now for the Cardinals. 4th and about 16.
The play before with Jarvis, it might have been better for him that time to cut back inside, go against the grain, because they had it pretty well sealed off on the outside, and he thought he could beat that young man, but he didn't do her.
Cardinals go for it here on 4th and 17.
We got Jarvis at fullback.
Yeah, he's
right in the middle. Oh, he might be a trap up the middle. See ya.
For the handoff, there he goes left side, cuts inside 30, 25, breaks away, 20, 15, 10, goes for the corner of the end zone, touchdown Coldwater. Nice call there, DJ.
All they did was move him to the middle, and the linebackers were outside thinking it was going to pass coverage again and give a little trap. After he busted the hole, he got to the sideline and just outran everybody. What a young man that guy's going to be.
Zip, zip, zip.
That's it. And it's 34 zip.
Yeah,
good speed. Good
that's
speed.
That's the Hillsdale announcer next to us. Boy, can he scoot. 34 is zip.
They say he might be the fastest kid Coldwater's ever had. Now that's going to go back.
Well, he broke the records, I think, held by Steve Kaspersky.
Right. He's about to half the size Steve is. Steve was tall. I mean, he was lanky. It wasn't like he was now, but he was tall and lanky. He was a very good athlete.
Cardinals going for 2, and it's going to be a running play, and it's going to be a conversion of 2 for Doug Howard straight up the middle. So the Cardinals perfect on the last couple of conversions. And it's 36-0. Cardinals up 28-zip at halftime, and now another touchdown and another 2-point conversion. Well, the Hillsdale Hornets got to be a dejected crew out there. With all the losses, 13 in a row coming over here, and I thought we'd see a little better production out of their running backs. But again, credit to Coldwater defense doing the job here tonight. Both sides of the ball, as we said, just doing a great job so far for the Cardinals. Taggart with a kick. Low liner pops up at the 28. 30, breaks a couple of tackles, breaks a couple of more tackles. 40, 45, out to about midfield, and that's going to be torn. Jake Lenhart doing a great job on the tackles tonight, at least Thorne. Oh, we'll get it right this time.
36 was a running back. Is that who you need?
Warren. Oh,
Warren.
36, excuse me.
Jonas Warren.
Yeah. Warren with the carry that time. Nice job, Jonas Warren. Sets up, this is the second time in a row that Hillsdale has had good field position. Earlier they were just short of midfield. They're exactly at midfield right now with 6:48 and counting. Coldwater in control, 36-0. Fake into the line. Pass goes over the middle, incomplete. The attempted receiver and the coverage out there by Porter, and it was once again Kasler, the intended receiver, the tight end, but that ball high and incomplete.
We got some new faces out there. Defensively, I see Shook's on the sideline, so that means he's out of there. Anthony's on the sideline, so we got 87 is Taggart. He's the end on this side. Gleason's still out there at one of the tackles. I don't know who's on the other end out there. Ziegler's coming up on the line of scrimmage as a linebacker.
Mullally still in at quarterback for the Hornets. Drops back to pass. Has some protection. Rolls out to the right side. And he once again goes to Kasler. Breaks a tackle at the 35. Inside there down to about the 32-yard line before the tackle made by Porter once again.
Steve Merritt is also defensive tackle out there, number 59.
Just need to put a blanket around Kasler. He gets open, and just as we said, the big target at 6'2". That's just continue to work that.
Nathan Post just came out of the ball game, and Lenhart just went back in at that far corner.
Clock continues to move. 5:35. Man in motion now goes to the far side for the Hornets.
Pitch.
Pitch to the far side. Goes to Myers. Gets around the corner. Cuts back inside. Breaks another tackle inside the 25. Pile driven down to about the 21-yard line. So the Hornets moving now.
They just don't disguise their plays very much. I mean, that's time. They've always sent a man in motion. Whatever motion he goes, gets in a three-point stance. They normally run wide or a pitch to that side. You know, they could cross that up. They could fake that pitch and bring it back. Bring the lead back towards like a counter here and probably catch us off guard because they ran that so much. Now they're going to run a little slot. They got a wide out with a slot.
The wide out is Kasler. Then the slot behind him, McNew. Dropping back, just goes right out to McNew, but this pass is thrown behind him. But even if he would have...
That's a fumble. You bet this guy's pointing fumble. It went out of bounds right over there.
Yeah, it was thrown behind him, and right on top of it, if he could have picked it up, was Ziegler right out there in the territory. But that'll stop the clock at 4:31. Sets up second and long, so you got a loss as a fumble, as you say, loss of about 5 yards on that play.
Well, this is what it's all about. He got 36 points, and you never know. You might get somebody hurt, and they need some experience, and you got them out there getting that experience right now.
Sam Myers with the touchdown run for the Hornets, coming at the 2:09 mark left here into the third quarter. So the shutout goes by the boards, but the Cardinals comfortably in control at 36-6.
Who scored that?
Myers.
I'm not used to writing these numbers down.
Yeah, they have been pretty blank on that side of the page, and the Hornets are going to try the kick for the extra point. Kent Shannon, snap, kick straight through. It looks to be good, and it is good. So we can mark down 7 for the Hornets. Their score finally coming late here in the third quarter, as we've got Doug Howard and Chris Torres back to receive this kickoff from the Hornets. You know, they might try a little onside action here. We'll see whether or not Kent Shannon wants to do that, or he wants to kick it deeper. A squib. We'll see what happens here as there's the whistle. We're ready for action. And it's just going to be the onside try, and it's just going to...
I'm going away with it.
It's hit by one of the Hillsdale players as it comes across the line, and it's down there right at the Hornet 38-yard line.
I've never...
Or is that...
Where did he kick at? Did he kick at the 35? Or is that on a 40? That's on a 40, isn't it, in high school?
I think it's the... So you're saying he went backwards?
I'm saying it's a -2 on a kickoff. I've never seen that.
I don't know if it was the 35 or 40.
I think they kick off in the 40 in high school. There isn't anybody in high school who's going to kick that ball in the end zone from the 35
you're right.
unless they're a soccer player.
Well, they tried to squib it in a little soccer sidewinder, but it went sideways, went backwards. So the Cardinals in great field position at the 38-yard line to start up, and Torres to go up the middle for a couple of tough yards, and one of the Hillsdale Hornet defenders all pumped up by making a stop there, and they'll take whatever they can to get fired up on the defense. And hasn't been easy tonight for that defense, and we've got Jarvis and Torres in the backfield. We'll see if Doug Howard is still in there, as Parshall is still in at quarterback, and if they do a flip-flop at quarterback, it would be Howard probably taking over at quarterback.
Right.
And he is in there at the running back spot.
And then you bring Porter in to run the running back or somebody else.
Bolton, the tight end here on the near side. Shook on the far side for the Cardinals. 2nd and 9, a minute and a half as the Hornets are going to jump offside. Lineman here to the near side.
I mean, you hate to see this, but this would be wide open if they ran the same set where they put the wing back and then the two backs, and the same ball that Bolton called for a touchdown would be wide open. I mean, they're so packed in there, they think Coldwater's going to run that ball all the time, and that'd be pretty bad for us to put it up in the air when we're up by this much.
You're right.
But it's a great play.
How many times have we seen it done against us?
Yeah, but it's a great play.
2nd and 4 now on that 5-yard penalty. It's going to be Jarvis. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, still on his feet. He's doing a great job. 30 down to the 25, down to about the 23. He's not very big, but he's very big to take down, hard to take down. And wow, what a nice run for a pickup for a first down.
Unreal. Jamie's looking to see who we can put in there. Here comes 44 in there.
Nate Post.
Post is he's going to come in for
Torres.
Torres, who's limping a little bit. Yeah, give him a rest for the day. He's done. offensively and defensively. Give him a little rest, get somebody else in there.
Post going to be in the middle at the fullback spot. Jarvis here to the near side. Howard to the far side. 1st and 10, the ball on the Hillsdale 24-yard line. It's going to go to Post up the middle as he gets his first carry of the night. Pickup of about 3 down to about the 20-yard line. Clock moving.
He better bend over a little bit because he could maybe lose the top part of his head running that straight up and down. But picked up 2.
Final play of the third quarter coming up here. Cardinals not in any hurry at all as Partial trots back to the huddle. Hillsdale defense got to be a little wary at this point. Got to slot back out to the far side of the field. That is Howard. Just get this play off. 2 seconds left, and it's going to be Jarvis, and he's going to lose about 2 or 3 yards on the final play of the third quarter. It'll set up 3rd and long, but the Cardinals 36, Hillsdale 7 after 3 quarters at Cardinal Field, and you're in tune to Cardinal football.
Be kinder than necessary. Be modest. Parents, teach your kids good sportsmanship. Parents, practice good sportsmanship. Act like you're the only fan in the stands. Lose without excuses. Be a good loser. Be a good winner. Be a team player. Sportsmanship begins at home.
Final quarter ready to get underway here at Cardinal Field. Jim Whelan along with Doug Johnson. The Cardinals 3rd and 13 on the Hillsdale 28-yard line. It's going to be run here to the near side. Jarvis, and he gets up to the line of scrimmage, and not much room here on this side. Taken down by Pat Scott for the Hornets. So that'll set up 4th for the Cardinals. Is in there yet on the offense. Post to the only new one in the backfield is Jamie Spray taking his time, given the
You know, if I were Buddy Bell, I'd go watch my kid play baseball. He looks like he's a pretty good baseball player.
He's been in town a couple of times, and that was fun for the former manager of the Tigers. 4th and 11. Handoff goes up the middle. Breaking tackles, not up the middle, excuse me, the fake. Post gets the carry to the outside. It's going to be stopped short of the 1st down, so the Cardinal defense will now move back out into the field. Might see a couple of new faces out there. I think I see one.
Skinner's coming out.
Adam Cooper seeing his first action tonight for the Cardinals, a 5'10 senior, 160 pounds. And we've got a 51 that's not in the program. Let's see if it's on my other roster here, Doug.
51 is Jesse Griffin.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Excuse
Remember,
me.
he played up last week.
That's right.
He's out there. A linebacker.
Well, Alley still in at quarterback for the Hornets, dropping back to pass. Pump fakes once, comes out here in the flat to Greenlee, but the Cardinals right there sniffing on top of it, and goes down with Ziegler, I think, making the tackle that time, and it is gain of about 2.
Stayed with him. He did a nice job. Greenlee tried to pull away, but Zig just stayed right there and got him. Out comes Shook.
Post in on the defense now as well for the Cardinals.
In comes Jeremy Parker. No, it's number 70. I'm sorry.
Ziegler still captaining the defense right now.
Casey Stevens.
Wanted to send the decoy receiver out to the far side of the field. Lally looking over the defense on a 2nd and 9. Pass comes down the middle and just outside. Post on the defense going to Kasler. Just broke through down the middle out at about the 40-yard line where he was trying to snare it in, but a little bit outside of his hand. That stops the clock at 10:21.
Adam Cooper checking in.
Cardinal cheerleaders doing a nice job right now. Betsy Stout, Kelly Holman, and Julie Cohen, the tri-captains, and we'll run down the rest of the 1998 football cheerleading squad for the Coldwater Cardinals. 3rd and 8 for Hillsdale on their own 20-yard line. Quick pitch goes to Greenlee. One blocker in front of him. Breaks through. We got a flag down as well as Greenlee gets out across the 25 out to about the 29-yard line. Had a flurry of flags there in the first half, but pretty much
tight end might have got caught with a clip right there. Yeah.
Eric Davenport now in the game for the Cardinals. Eric,
Napier's out there too.
6-foot junior.
Jerry Napier, number 68. Yeah, I think Coldwater won the line of scrimmage tonight.
Oh, boy. From the get-go.
Did you get those cheerleaders, man?
We got the tri-captains in so far. Who's on the rest of the team?
I don't know.
Marcy Keith, Sarah Zimmer, Laura Smith, Haley Moulter, Sarah Voss, and then we've got Becky Cohen, Jamie Clark, Daniel Davidson, Sarah Chapin, and Katie Float.
Sarah Chapin Carpenter? Is that what that is?
You listen to too much country music, DJ, let's face it. And the coach, Andy Lampman, for the cheerleaders and for the Hillsdale Hornets. 3rd and 14. Fake, run, pass up the middle. Is it intercepted by the Cardinals?
Nope, he just about got her, though.
Almost with the interception that time for Coldwater was Adam Cooper. Good coverage on who else? Kasler.
Number 34, David Clark, just checked in. And in comes Big Gleason again. Or not Gleason, Taggart. Aaron Taggart. We're going to punt.
4th and 10 on their own 15. I would think we're going to punt it away.
I think this might be a punt because the quarterback's leaving.
I would think so. Kent Shannon, he gets the snap, and this will be the punt.
Run that back, Howard.
A wobbly one at the 40, 35, Howard,
Whoops.
and then he got down inside the 35, and then standing up straight, pushed back.
This guy loves his beanbag, man. He just throws it anywhere. Wherever she lands, that's close enough. He's only off 1.5 yards on that one.
Why don't you give us a fashion description tonight of the officials, Doug?
They look nice in those knickers. Their little shorts. Nathan Post, 44 in the backfield. Oh, 14's out there. Andrew Bailey, quarterbacking.
All right, so the Cardinals.
Lunchroom buddy of mine.
36-7, the Cardinals in control and getting some fresh faces in there at the positions. Bailey, hands off on the right side, and running back for the Cardinals to take it is Eric Sussex.
Sussex, yeah, he was hurt last week and didn't play. And I think this is his first action, too.
5'10", junior, 155 pounds. So this is the extra bonus you get when you're in control of a game, and as the Cardinals have been, leading 28-0 at halftime, and then the Hornets finally score. We're down to the 9-minute mark of left in our ball game here tonight at Cardinal Field in this Twin Valley opener between the Hornets and the Cardinals. 79th meeting between the two teams over the years. Cardinals stick to the ground.
Sussex again.
Yep. Hit hard as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Picks up a couple of yards.
Got a little temper down there. Eric Davenport's getting pushed around a little bit. He didn't like that action, so he just kind of gave a guy a little shove when he got up. Keep your cool, boys.
We still got Shook in there at one of the tight ends. Also, we see Anthony still in there on the line of scrimmage for the Cardinals. Well, everybody's having a great time here tonight. I'm sure some folks coming in from over the Kids Kingdom now that they're finishing up their duties there tonight. They'll be back at it again early tomorrow morning. 3rd and 2 for the Cardinals.
Whoops.
A little mix-up in the backfield. Bailey comes here to the near side, keeps the ball, and he's thrown down, and he gets a little bit of a greeting on what it's like to be out there, as throwing him down to the ground is Greenlee. So a loss of about 4 or 5 that time for the Cardinals.
I think he ran into Nick Smith, who just came in the ball game that time, and I don't believe he was going to carry the ball. I think he was going to hand that off, but with the confusion, he thought it'd be better just to hold her.
So they're getting the reps that they usually get in practice, possibly late in the practice, out here for the real thing tonight. And the Cardinals have a 4th and 5. They're on the Hillsdale 27-yard line. Coldwater in control, 36-7, 7.5 minutes left in our ball game. Bailey, the quarterback, looking up at the Hillsdale defense. Takes the snap. This will be a handoff up the middle, and stopped for a gain of about 2 or 3 is Nick Smith. So the Hornets will take over. Hillsdale will on downs. So those Coldwater players getting to see some of their first action of the season. Glad to get that underway, and then they'll be on the sidelines now thinking about, well, what I'll do the next time I'll get out there, having that under my belt or collective belts, and see if they can move the ball. But for Hillsdale now, they're going to take over on their own 25-yard line. We'll see what Hillsdale does tonight, whether they're going to probably just stick with their starters. And we still...
New quarterback. I mean, still the same quarterback.
Yep, Mullally still at quarterback. Greenlee.
Here we go. Trips.
Myers.
This is the first time we've seen this.
Yep. Kasler and Myers.
Hand off in the middle.
That's just going to go to Greenlee. Pitch deep in the backfield, and he's going to shed one tackle, but not make it out any further than that. Making the nice deep penetration that time was Gordon Lewis.
Right.
5'11" junior. Check on some of these names. Does he like to be called Gordy, or is it Gordon?
I don't know. He's pretty good size. You better get it right.
Yeah, right.
And also John Papka. John's playing that tackle. Stevens is outside of him at the end. I wonder if that's related to the Stevens that played here a 3 years ago that it was good defensive end for us.
David Clark playing corner out here on the far side. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Breaking one tackle is Myers. 45, 50, breaks across midfield. 45 down to the Coldwater 40-yard line, and finally in on the tackle that time for Coldwater was Eric Davenport. Down the sidelines.
That's Stevens. He's got a new number.
Casey Stevens as well. Stevens is 6'1" senior, 170 pounds.
He came from the backside to make that play. That's a good play.
So Hillsdale into Coldwater territory now with 7 points on the board, trying to add on and trying to see that score look a little bit better, trying to get out of the single digits. Mullally up to the line of scrimmage. Runner was out of bounds, so the clock stops. Straight up the middle goes Greenlee, has a big hole, cuts to the far side. He might have a touchdown run. 15, 10, 5, and the defender will not catch him. Trying to
40.
catch chase there was Adam Cooper, I think.
Yep, Adam Cooper.
40
yards for the touchdown.
40-yard touchdown run by Greenlee. So the Hornets now in double figures with 13 on the board. 6:25 left in our fourth quarter.
That was a nice play, nice running play.
So that'll give Hillsdale a little mo for their contest next week. Don't have the composite Twin Valley schedule here. I'm not quite sure who the Hornets are going to play next week. We know, of course, who Coldwater will play. Our first road game of the season after the first two contests here at home against Plainwell and Hillsdale tonight. We're on the road against Harper Creek next week.
You got that number 66 trying to extra point. Kent Shannon.
Trying to extra point. Down
the middle.
And he's got a good leg and good accuracy as well. So Hillsdale on the board with a couple of touchdowns and a couple extra points. 6:25 left in our game here at Cardinal Field. Coldwater 36 and Hillsdale 14. This
Post and Torres are deep.
As kick goes to the left side, it's going to go out of bounds. Just a line drive, left side, out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
That's where they'll take it, I think.
And we'll see if Bailey will come back in as quarterback, who saw his first action a little while ago. Andrew Bailey, the 6-foot junior at 140 pounds, running the Cardinal offense a moment ago, and he'll be back in at quarterback for the Cards. We'll set that backfield. We see Jarvis is back in at one of the running backs. He sat out that last series, but he's back in now, Chris Jarvis. And who else? Looks like we've got that Howard here to the near side.
No. Might be Nick Smith.
Well, Bailey's at quarterback. We'll see who gets the handoff. In too much time, they're going to throw the flag. I think that's going to be the call.
Oh, that's 41.
That's Eric Sussex.
Sussex, yeah.
Also out there tonight, now I think seeing some of his first action, Mike Mobilia, the 6-foot junior, 160 pounds, playing a tight end here to the near side for the Cards.
I was impressed by Lenhart's play tonight.
Oh, boy, I guess so.
You know, on that corner, he did a nice job there. And so did the other corner, McKeon. Didn't let people get outside of him.
So with the flag, no time run off the clock at 6:25. And off comes to Jarvis, and he's thrown back, but breaks the tackle, cuts back across the field, just needs a couple of blocks. 45, midfield 50, two players in front of him. Dekes one to the inside, and then he's finally pulled down on the far sidelines at about the 32-yard lines, and that's when you can... Bill Tackler to pull him down and prevent the touchdown.
Got a clip down here at about the 42-yard. Coldwater's going to get used to that because Jarvis can do that same thing with his speed.
This one marching the other way, but it's a nice time to have a major penalty when you do have that kind of lead on the board of 36-14. And there's the official call on the clip. Moves it back to the Coldwater 26-yard line. So Bailey brings them up to the line of scrimmage. Slot back here to the near side for the Cardinals. And once again, we got another flag.
Well, I got 3 or 4 more guys moving in there. They're not used to this action. I mean, I go up there on the sound, boys.
Well, I would guess at this point we can't say positively for sure, but I would think just about everybody that's out there suited up tonight has seen some action for the Cardinals, and that's great.
Well, you got to reward them because they spend a lot of time getting their heads beat in during the practices, and that's what this is all about. Pay your dues and then come on out and you get a shot at it and then try to do your best job, move up the ladder a little bit.
First and long for the Cardinals. First and 30 for the Cards. 36-14 their lead. And it's going to be to Jarvis coming here to the near side, and making the tackle is going to be Greenlee, as they were able to spread out that line of scrimmage, and not much room that time for Jarvis. And we've got Post checking back into the backfield now for the Cardinals. We'll see who checks out. It's going to be Sussex coming out for Coldwater, so it'll be second and pickup of about 3.
It's Nick Smith.
Nick Smith, excuse me. 18. Number 18.
Yep.
Sussex is number 41 for the Cardinals.
I'd send everybody this way and send Sussex going the other way on a reverse.
Oops. But we're going to go up the middle for little or no gain that time for the Cardinals. So the action slowing down. Post with the carry that time for Coldwater. Pickup of about 2.
He broke one last time down here. He came out just short of the first down, so that wasn't a bad call. Well, we're third and about a mile.
Torres checks back into the lineup. Post comes out for the Cards. Just taking the time, coming up to the line of scrimmage, which is about the 23-yard line. Bailey at the quarterback, looking over the defense. 5 men on the front, still for the Hornets. Taking his time, long count, still a long count. Finally, handoffs is going to go up the middle. Out across the 25 to the 27-yard line goes Torres. That'll set up 4th for the Cardinals, who may kick it away here. We'll see Rusty Reed checking in, and looks like he'll do the punting for Coldwater. He's back at about his 15. Will take the snap. Let's see, who do we have in it? Oh, that's right. Doug Howard's a long snapper for Coldwater, so he's in there.
Why do they always put those backs in there for long snaps?
Well,
never figured that out.
Whoever does it best, and he's doing it best. Warren back along with Greenlee to take this. They're at about their own 40. Good snap to Howard. Gets it away. No, a nice booming kick. It's going to be taken by Greenlee. By Warren. Puts up the fair catch signal, and that's where the Hornets will take over on their 36-yard line.
Is that our first punt?
Good question. Might
think it is.
Yeah.
I think it was our first punt.
That's another indication that you're doing well. Your first punt, you got 4 minutes left in the game. I think that means you've controlled the ball for a bit here. That's what the Cardinals have done tonight from the get-go. Leading by a score of 28-0 at halftime, although all those points were scored in the second quarter, albeit the Cardinals scoring their first touchdown just seconds into the second quarter. And we still have Mullally at quarterback for the Hornets. That starting unit fakes into the line of scrimmage, drops back to pass into the flat. Out here is Myers. Breaks the tackle out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. David Clark, the 5'9 senior, in on the tackle that time for the Cardinals.
And Wright. Joey Wright there.
The starter still in there for Coldwater. Also in there on the territory was Gordon Lewis for the Cards. 3:40 and counting left here tonight at Cardinal Field. A relaxed Cardinal sidelines, as you might suspect right now. Not for the guys out on the field, of course. And coming in there is Aaron Gleason getting in on the action late, as the Cardinals now have their full complement out there on the field. Mullally, handoff, room up the middle, cross midfield into Coldwater territory. Goes Myers.
Eric Davenport on the stop.
And we got an injured player down in the field for Hillsdale at about the 45-yard line. Looks like one of the up linemen.
74, looks like, I think. Tim Briggs.
Now the Hillsdale player is up on his feet and being helped off right now. Looks like just getting the wind knocked out of him, and he's moving across over to the Hillsdale sideline.
Might have got pinched neck or pinched nerve or something in his neck, and they were very careful with it. You never want to mess around with those.
So we've been through that in Coldwater, unfortunately, a couple of years ago, and everything turned out all right. But, yeah, you got to be very careful, and that's why it's...
Shawnee Moorhead, that's
right. So great to have Phil Herman here on the sidelines, and he did the number and did it so well when Sean went down there a couple of years ago with that, what looked to be it was a serious injury, but no complications now, and Sean is in good shape because of all the great attention on the sidelines. But for Hillsdale, now up by a score of 36-14, trailing 36-14, as the running back Greenlee gets around the corner, breaks some tackles inside the...
No, still got it. I thought he knocked the ball out, but
yeah.
No.
He was at the 40 and tried to reverse field to the center of the field here before he's finally pulled down by the Cardinals.
Stevens.
2:41 and counting. Again, Coldwater up 36-14. So the Hornets trying to punch in another touchdown here tonight. But on the other side of the ball, the Cardinals, a lot of their second and third liners getting a lot of valuable experience here against the Hornets. Mullally hands off and trying to find cutback space is Myers, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Cardinals right there on top of him.
Led by John Pafka. He was right there waiting for him, you betcha.
Coming down to the 2-minute mark. Still quite a few Cardinal fans here. They want to be here at the end. Hear the victory bell ring for the first victory of the 1998 season for Coldwater.
On top of the Twin Valley.
That's right.
That's right.
Undefeated, they will be here tonight in Twin Valley Conference play. The conference openers as Mullally goes down the line of scrimmage, tosses out to Myers.
Nice
and,
play.
that was an excellent play for the Cardinals, shutting the blocker that time for Coldwater. Clark, yeah, he had a blocker right in front of him. If that block would have been good, Myers down here to the near sidelines would have had a lot of room.
Myers walking back a little slow. Might be tired, but pretty good hit by the young man Clark there.
Myers coming off a 120-yard performance last week in that loss for Hillsdale against Tecumseh, and Myers now still in the backfield. McNew out here to the near side on this 1st and 10. Drops back to pass. Mullally comes out here to the Kessler, and he's got 3 or 4 Cardinals right there at the 25-yard line.
Adam Cooper, the first to hit him. And then David Clark again. I think Joey Wright was getting over there. He wanted to get in a little action. Might have been a little late. Those two guys took care of him.
So the clock stops. Just getting out of bounds was Kessler on that reception. Good for 8 yards. Call it 2nd and 2, and Hillsdale down and out to the Coldwater 25-yard line. Wide receiver split here to the near side for the Hornets. Mullally checks out the line of scrimmage, drop back to pass, goes down the middle, ball up for grabs. It's going to be intercepted for the Cardinals. I think it's Howard back there, but we'll
who knows?
Wait and see as he turns around.
21, that's Howard.
Got Doug Howard with the interception for the Cardinals.
81.
No, excuse me, 81.
Mike Bobilia.
Mike Bobilia with the interception for the Cardinals. 80. We saw the one on the one side, but it's 81 as Mike comes in and plays tight end on the offense and playing some defensive backfield for the Cardinals. That one just thrown up for grabs, DJ, and he played a nice center field that time. Comes at 1:08 left in our ball game with the interception of the Cardinals now. Deep in their own territory, but they can relax up by that 36-14 count. Bobilia stays in at the tight end here to the near side. Still in at quarterback for the Cardinals is Andrew Bailey. Looks over the Hillsdale defense. It'll be a running play up the middle. Breaking a couple of tackles is Fost out to the 10-yard line.
Skinner coming in to play a little offense. Along with Gleason coming in to play that right tackle. Out comes Kokinas, Anthony, and Jarvis.
Down to 35 seconds and counting. 2nd and 3 for the Cardinals. Putting the cap on this Twin Valley Conference opening victory here tonight. Another running play, right side.
That'd be it.
One more play, maybe. I don't know if they have to get this last play off or not. Probably not. Jamie Spray taking his time talking to Bailey. Hillsdale sending in a few more players who may not have seen some action tonight, and we're not going to see any more action on the field here tonight. The Cardinals don't have to, so now they're going to gather around Coach Jamie Spray to and get ready to go out into the field and to shake hands with the Hillsdale Hornets, who are victims tonight, losing their 14th straight, but for Coldwater, victory number 1 on the season. 36-14, our final score here tonight at Cardinal Field.